Hi, hello everyone. Thank you for coming to join me today. I just want to put a caveat on my videoing. I've had a few comments that my camera keeps moving and it's making people feel seasick. I've discovered that this phone that I'm using, and it's the only one I've got, so that's what I've got, it will try and refocus. If I move, it kind of moves itself to refocus. I'm not a whiz on IT and phones and things, so it is what it is. And if I'm making you feel seasick, all I can do is apologise. Okay, so this is my autumn theme journal that I started with you. I mentioned last time that this pocket was one of Amy's from Crafty Cat, and I missaid that. It isn't. It's from Julie at the Old Design Shop, and it's in her set 3 grungy ephemera, and I will put a link, and I think I did add a link to the previous video. When I finished my last project, I just scooped everything up and it got scooped up with it. So if I've misadvised anyone, all I can do is apologise. I've had a couple of thoughts about what I would like to do. I'm going to add another envelope back here. I'm going to add an envelope in there with another one on there. So that will have another envelope flipping there. So kind of trying to think ahead of what I want to do. But what I want to do with you today is I want to decorate this page. Well, decorate it. I want to put something on it. And I've done a lot of it without you because I wasn't sure how to do it. I want to do a waterfall that comes out. A waterfall sounds like it's going to get wet, doesn't it? So I've prepped some pieces just because it took me a while to figure out what I was doing with it. So I'm using pieces from Julie at the Old Design Shop, and this is called, I kept the piece of paper, is that it? I'm using Printable Oil Painting Postcards Autumn from the Old Design Shop for this piece of ephemera. And they're lovely images of autumn. So I've picked one of a forest with the beautiful colours. I've picked a lovely waterfall. I've picked another forest, and I've picked a house, and that's what I'm going to use to decorate this. And I'm going to do it so that it will hang on this, probably that way it will go, and it will hang on that page. So that's what I'm going to do with you today. Yeah, so I'm just going to crack on. I've tried to get some papers ready, because as I say, I was trying to work out how best to do it. And when you're trying to get papers ready, it's not very exciting for people. Mind you, watching you glue me down probably isn't that exciting either. So I can't win. Just bear with me, folks. That's all I can say. Oh no, my glue book's gone walkabout. There it is. Why, glue book, do you feel that you have to go walkabout? So this is a piece of A4 card that I have cut on the length. So I've cut a bit off, look. So it would normally be at A4 that way, wouldn't it? And I've done A4 that way, and I've cut it wide enough to fit on here. And I think for me that's about 5.5 inches. But if you were to do something, yeah, it's 5.5 inches. But if you were to do something like this, your measurements aren't going to be the same as mine. It depends on what you're making. My journal, did we say that's just shy? It's 1/8 shy of 6 inches. So I'm doing it 5.5 so that it will fit. Okay. And I've decided to fold it there just because that image fit on it. For no other reason other than that image fit. Okay, and I want to cover the back where you're going to see with papers. Just simply, that's all I want to do, and that's what I'm going to do. And then it will be a waterfall because I will join it together. Sounds dead clever, doesn't it? But they're not difficult to make. It was just getting my head round how I wanted it to do. It would have been easier if I had maybe copied a design onto my card so that I don't have to glue pieces of paper onto it, or if I had used some sort of card scrapbooking paper that wasn't too thick, but I haven't got any. So I didn't. But this I think will work just fine. And I'm inking around the edges, so yep, there are some gaps, but I'm not worrying about it because, you know, journals are journals. They're not meant to be perfect. Well, mine aren't. I'm trying to let go of the perfection. And it doesn't bother me that you've got that little bit there. And if it bothers you, then obviously you do yours different. So that is the first, that is the front page, okay? And then I've got the second page that will attach up there, and I will stitch it, but that will have another picture on so that you get to see a bit of it. I hope you can see. So that's going to go on there. So I am going to then decorate this second piece, and I'm going to put my picture at the bottom, but somewhere I am hoping that I've got a little bit, it's this one, that will go above it like that. Okay. And again, this is that card. It's not really thick card. It's more of a heavyweight paper. I think I bought it thinking that it was card, and I think it's something like 120 GSM, which is what I use to make my journal pages from. So it's not thick card, but by the time you've stuck stuff on it, it thickens up. So I'm going to glue that on the top of that pocket there. I am. So how are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. I know that I'm all out of sync with my themes. You know, I'm never very good at doing spring in spring and summer in summer and autumn in autumn. I've actually just printed off Amy's Amy Crafty Cat. I've just printed off her painted Christmas kit that I really want to use, and I've kind of got those papers put together, and I'm using, along with that, I want to use her rustic Christmas. So that might be a project that I bumble along with on my own. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't want to do it all by myself. I want to do it with you guys. I've got quite a few people joining me that are new to junk journaling, and I think they would find it useful to see how I do things and how other people do things, because we all have different styles of learning and we're attracted to different styles and everything, aren't we? So that is the second one. So that will go in there. So can you see it's coming together? So you'd lift it and you've got that one. So I think that's quite nice. I need to cover that bit. I'm bound to do this wrong because I'm bound to use something that, see, that doesn't fit there. So that wasn't the one. Because that won't have a picture on it, will it? No. You see, I thought that I had torn everything ready, but I haven't. Well, let's put this one on because I think that one, I'm doubting myself now, folks. That goes there. That might go there and have water. Yeah, I want the water. And then the fourth one goes underneath. But I don't think I've done anything for there. Never mind. These things happen, don't they? I might find it actually when I've had so many things out that it's probably just got tidied away somewhere. So if that goes on there, I'm trying to think, folks. I'm sorry. I thought I'd got this all sussed out in my mind. That's too small. That's too big. that fits there. So that is going on there. Yes, it is, but it's a little bit wide. So let's put that on there. You hear me huffing and puffing because I've had my tear ruler. Oh, here it is. This is going to go on the back. So let's put that on. That's probably too small now. No, it's still too big. Tiny, tiny bit, Carol. Tiny, tiny. That will fit on there, but it's a little bit too long. A little bit off the bottom. See, this is the bit that takes me, I don't know about you, but it does take me a long time to get them sized. And it can be a pain when people are watching what you're doing, can't it? And of course that's not level. Never mind. I'm going to ink it a bit more. And I'm not going to worry about it. I should think my camera's wobbling about now, and I should think it's going all out of sync with you. As I said, I'm sorry. So that's the top. I want the leaves falling down. Okay, let's glue that on. Let's get it on. Silence while she glues. I could have got these all glued on before you came to join me, couldn't I? But where, oh where would the fun be in that, is what I'm thinking. That doesn't quite go that way. Let's do it. Let's do it that way. It doesn't fit there. Oh, I might need to trim a little bit off. Let's try one more time. One more time with feeling. I put it as close as I can to that edge. And let's pull it down. I might put a piece of paper across there at the bottom. It depends if it's going to annoy me or not. So would it annoy you if it wasn't quite fitting, or would you just let it go? So if you can see, look, I'm short at the bottom, but I might wait until the end and see if I've got, well, I've got a little scrap there. Oh, and you know, that fits, doesn't it? So there you go. That little piece was just sitting there on my desk. And I always think if you find a piece sitting on your desk, it's there to be used. It wants to be used, use it. So there's me saying I'm going to let it go, and I've not let it go. Never mind. It's on. Okay. Then, so we've got those two. I want a picture on here. I want the waterfall there, and it needs a piece. Don't lose that. That's not big enough. Everything's falling away at me now, look. Oh, it was that one, wasn't it? Well, if it wasn't, let's just say it is now. Okay. I want the leaves at the top, and that's going to go at the bottom. Yep. I'm going to get rid of this page because it's just so sticky. Leaves at the top. Did I ink it? Yep. And then I'm going to be short of a piece of paper, aren't I? But never mind. I've got some more that I can use. It's just I've piled everything together. There we go. Ink that. the leaves at the top. It's that bit I haven't got a piece for. I wanted the waterfall next. I love the sound of running water. You know, when you're walking, hubby and I, we do a lot of walking. Our favourite place in the UK is number 1, the Lake District, number 2, Derbyshire. Derbyshire's closer to us, so it's easier to get to, but the Lake District is just beautiful. We've done so many walks there. And we will be going again this year. Not this year, next year. Although we are going to go to France next year. Hubby's going to be booking we go on the Channel, because I don't like boats. They make me very sick, do boats. Very sick, which is never good. Never a good look. So we'll be going to France. Love that. And the new pup, she'll be coming with us. Ren will be coming. She doesn't know yet. She doesn't know. She has no idea what she's got in store for herself. Okay, I'm just going to put it back together again because I just want to keep checking that I'm doing it. Oh. These images of Julie's, I think, are just... Can you see that? I hope you can. And then they lift up. And of course, I'm decorating those bits. And so now we have this one that's going to go there. And I need something here, don't I? I think I'll use this. Let's get rid of it. Sorry, I know I did try to get it all ready for you. And I think this will then fill in for that little bit that I've got missing as well, won't it? So that will be good. I want to say that this paper is from St. Paul, is what I would like to say. So I'm going to put that on there. Get it pretty close to the edge. And then I can tear it off. Lower than that. That'll do, just there. You do get more scraps this way, don't you? For sure. Give that an ink. But they all look autumny, these papers, don't they? So I'm going to put that on there. Make sure I don't put it in the crease. I think I'm running out of my glue stick. I think I've got one more of these. These glue sticks I'm finding very good. Claire at the Purple Poppy sent me a couple to try. UK, they're in from Tesco, and I've found them really good. My problem is the Tesco near me doesn't sell them. It's like not a pop-up Tesco, a small Tesco. And they don't stock them. Come on, move, move, move. There we go. Which is typical, isn't it? But I'll find a Tesco and get some. And I think this is the last picture that goes on here. I will list this kit. It comes, I think there's, I want to say there's 4 sheets of autumn pictures. My grandma, this one, my grandparents had something like this on their wall. an image of trees walking through, and it does remind me of it. I don't know what happened to that picture when they passed away. I've no idea. It's probably got ditched, or, you know, people don't keep things, do they? I don't think it wasn't a, I'm sure that it wasn't a real painting. I think it was a print. But it always intrigued me. I could always imagine walking through. Okay, so that's that one. So that is all covered. That's the first and the last. And this is the second and the third. And I just need to cover that, don't I? And I'm going to cover it with this. And I'm hoping that these papers that I'm using, are we still recording? Yeah, we are. And I've just noticed the camera moved. I know somebody's going to say, oh, your camera moves and it makes me dizzy. I do try, folks. Honestly, I really, really do try. There's nothing else that I can use. I have no other piece of equipment. My phone has died. It's not cheap to get another phone, is it? And I was hoping to go SIM only and save some pennies. So it is what it is. Get that off there. I've looked at different settings and things, and that hasn't helped either. I'll keep persevering. I'll keep trying. I will keep trying. Let's get rid of that sticky page. Maybe if I move slowly, it won't jolt about. Do you think? Slow, Carol. Don't move quick. Let's get the glue on and get this bit, and then you will see what it is that I'm trying to do. I hope. I don't know if there's a right and a wrong way for those. If there was, there probably isn't now. The main thing I don't want to do is go over the creases. So I can give you the measurements at where I've creased this, but it's a case of fiddling about with it so that when you fold them and join them together, that it ends up at the length that you want it to be. So that is my finished waterfall. So that lifts up, then that one, then that one. Oh. You clever clogs, you thought you'd done it and you hadn't. Misprint, look. I have a misprint and that's going to go on. Silly Billy. She thought she was finished and she wasn't. Never mind. Never mind. Let's get rid of these. Okay. This is paper from Julie at the Old Design Shop. And it's the papers that I've printed that I want to mainly use to cover the envelopes that I'm using to make this with. Let's do it there. And we need it to be... But I'm thinking, you know, with a dark pen, you could write on this, couldn't you? Or you could stick one of your own photos on. You know, if you've got kids or grandkids that go trick-and-treating. I'm just going to check that's the right way up. It is. You know, you can print photos and stick them on these bits. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do another. What's the chances of me getting something done in 16 minutes? Not a lot. I think it's called Fat Chance and No Chance. I'm going to put that way up. I don't know if that's right or not. Why worry? But I think doing this is enough for me for today. I'm doing bite-sized crafting. But I will be back to do more. See, if I do bite-size, you get to see more of me, because I don't get as much done. I have to think about what I want to do before I do it, I think. That is going on there. I have very sticky fingers. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes in there like so. And I know, you know, some of these don't quite meet the edge. Never mind. That's my saying for today. Never mind. Yeah, that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach where this front one with the first and the fourth join. I'm going to attach this at the top up there. Okay, I've literally just put a very thin bead of glue there, and I'm going to put you on pause, and I'm going to go and sew that. So bear with me one moment. Okay, so I'm back, and what I've done is, I don't know if you can see it, I think you probably can't, I don't know, but I have stitched along that edge. So where it folds, I've stitched along there. You can glue it, but the problem with gluing it is you might not be able to open it up, and you want to be able to open it. So where I've joined it, I've stitched. You could hand stitch it, you could glue it, you know, whatever works best for you. I'm going to leave it open a little minute because it's a bit sticky, and I don't want those pages to join together, because I want to make like a belly band for this to hang on, and I'm using this paper for this with the pumpkins on. That's what I want to use. Sorry, I'm just reaching for things, trying to think how best I want to do this. So I'm going to put a crease in there, and I'm going to fold that back. I've just folded this paper a couple of times just to make it a bit stronger, and then I'm going to glue it on that bit. And I need to know how wide to do it, don't I? So it's going to go on there underneath that September. I don't want it to interfere with that crease, and I'm just looking outside. I think it's going to rain and my washing's on the line. Oh dear. I'm going to put that crease there. Cut that bit off. So I've just folded this piece of paper in 3 and glued it, and then it's going to stick on there, and then this will hang on it like so, like that. And I think it will fit. She thinks it will fit. I'm just shaking my glue, and I'm going to stick it on. And again, this glue, it's all or nothing. It is what it is. So I want that to go under the September, and I don't want it to hit that line. And I don't want it to glue shut, but I want it to glue. So if I put that in there and just push for a minute. So it can glue that. It does make me nervous doing things, you know, if you're not sure it's going to work, because if this doesn't work, I've really mucked it up, haven't I? I need to let the glue set, but that will go up there like that, and it will hang down there like that, and it will hang on there. Hopefully you can see that. But all that I need to do is make sure that this band is glued on, and it doesn't want to glue that end. So I'm going to glue it on. I'm going to make sure that it's stuck down, but that then is my first envelope decorated. So I'm moving on to that one next. I hope you like it. I hope you join me next time, and I really look forward to seeing you. So take care, everybody. Thank you for joining me. See you soon. Bye.